Hello, women's basketball fans. The transfer portal continues to wreak havoc, and now it's hitting some Elite Eight and even Final Four teams. Welcome back to Davis Sports Report. Go ahead and smash that like button right now so you don't forget. We really appreciate it, and it's a free way to help the channel. Also, give us a hype if you have any left, and if you're not subscribed, you might want to do so now. These transfers are coming in hard and fast, and you wouldn't want to miss out. Now, back to the business at hand. As I stated, big programs that were expecting to return all or most of its players are getting the shock of a life in the transfer portal.
Well, I'm assuming Michaela Williams will be back, Malaysia Full-Wiley will be back, Jada Richard will be back, the freshmen like Bella, Grace, Zakaya, love Zakaya. And then they said, why did you say assume? I said, well, you can't assume anything now. I mean, you would think these people are going to be back, you hope, but are you confident they will be back?
Well, I've had my individual meetings, and yes, they're all coming back except for Divine. Mm-hmm. And you cannot understand the value of having all of them come back. That's how you build it. That's how you get over that hump of an Elite Eight. And yes, they're all coming back except for Divine.
You know, I can go on and on about our players, but at the end of the day, we have tremendous support at Texas. Our kids are, I think they feel the responsibility of being at the University of Texas. It's not for the faint of heart. It's just not. It's not a place that you go to be good. It's just not. It don't fit. We're chasing greatness, and, when they go sit in the cafeteria, they're sitting next to Olympians, All-Americans, all-conference players. But that's the University of Texas.
I mean, Jordan Lee killed us every time. I think she is the key to their success. Madison Booker, of course, is a superstar, but Jordan, they don't win without Jordan Lee. And one of the things we wanted to do, she got loose twice in our out of bounds. But other than that, she didn't get a three. We respect her so much. I don't understand how people just ignore her. And, this kid does a little bit of everything for him and makes you work really hard. And I thought she really played well and got them a bucket when they needed to. I respect her a lot. So, for me, I don't – as far as her growth, I think she does this all the time. I just don't think she gets – the credit, maybe, but she's special, and I don't think Texas wins without her.
First up is the aforementioned Jordan Lee from Texas. She is a 6-foot sophomore guard who experienced a massive breakout year, jumping from 5.8 points per game as a freshman to 13.2 points per game and 2.5 assists per game, while shooting nearly 50% from the three-point range. Lee buried 72 three-pointers this year, and everyone was right on time. You heard what Coach Yo said. She has the sauce. I was surprised to see Lee get into the portal, as I knew she was going to be taking on an even bigger role next year. It was going to be the Jordan Lee and Madison Booker show. Why she might be leaving? Really not sure. I don't think she's done any interviews, so if you guys know, do let us know. Next up is Leah Harmon. She is an elite 5'6" sophomore playmaker who led the Knights with 15.7 points per game, highlighted by a career-high 38-point explosion against Kansas. Harmon's season was cut short due to an injury, but in the 20 games she did play, she was in double digits 15 of those games. Why she might be leaving? After 2 years of high-volume scoring at a mid-tier program, Miami and UCF, Harmon is likely looking to level up to a top-tier contender that can provide a national stage and deeper postseason run for her last 2 years. Next up is Miari O'Neal, and y'all are killing me softly, Gators. She is a versatile 6'4" sophomore forward who led Florida in field goal percentage with 52.9%, and she led in blocks, averaging a near double-double in several stretches of the season. O'Neal can play multiple positions. At 6'4", she can cover the post as well as the perimeter, where she put up 37 three-pointers last season. She continues to improve year over year, and she still is nowhere near her peak, in my opinion. Why she might be leaving? Following the crumbling after the coaching change, O'Neal basically had to seek a more stable environment to develop her skill set if she's planning to go pro. Her dad, Shaquille O'Neal, attended college at LSU, so we will see if Miari ends up at her dad's alma mater. For me, I guess I'm just going to go and rip up my Miari O'Neal and Liv McGill t-shirt the same way Sarah Strong did in that loss to South Carolina, because I understand the frustration, girl. Next up is Taryn and Taylor Barbett. Taryn is a prolific 20.1 points per game scorer, while her sister Taylor is a premier facilitator, averaging 11.4 points per game and 6 assists per game. These two were the number 1 and number 2 scorers for the Cougars, and number 1 and number 2 in assists. They are going to be missed. Taryn has over 1,700 points, including dropping 36 points against Duke. Duke, you might be wanting to give her a call. She also had 82 three-pointers this season. Sister Taylor has a lot to offer as well. These two are instant starters, and I hope they find the program that will highlight both of their greatness. Why they might be leaving. As a package deal, the Twins have outgrown the mid-majors level. They are likely looking for a Power 4 program that needs an immediate, chemistry-proven backcourt to take them to the next level. Next up is Sophia Munoz, an electric 5'8" freshman who earned Conference Freshman of the Week honors multiple times while averaging 11.8 points per game and 4.1 assists per game at a 47.1 field goal percentage. Munoz also played for Team Puerto Rico in the U16, putting up 30 points against Team Brazil and averaging 12.5 points per game. Why she might be leaving. Munoz likely feels she has proven her value and is seeking a bigger platform in a more prestigious conference. Then there's Essence Cody. She is a powerful 6'4" junior forward and 3-year starter who averaged 11.5 points per game and 4 rebounds per game as a dominant interior presence, with a 56.4 field goal percentage. Cody has spent all 3 years at Alabama and has improved each year. Why she might be leaving? Her departure is directly tied to coaching changes. After head coach Christy Curry left for University of Southern Florida, Cody chose to spend her senior year elsewhere rather than play under a new staff. And here comes one of the shockers, and that is Jada Richard, who is a gritty freshman guard who provided a spark off the bench. 9.5 points per game, including high-scoring bursts against top-ranked SEC opponents. Richard was a name heard over and over this year. I think I might have even heard her name more than I heard Flage's. Her freshman year, she started 1 game. In her sophomore year, she started 34 of the 35. She had 10 double-digit games against SEC opponents and put up 17 in the SEC tournament loss to South Carolina. Why she might be leaving. Richard stated on her Instagram, "This decision weighed heavy on my heart, but I know what's best for me and my journey. Nothing but love." Being that she's a native of LSU, I was super surprised to see her departure. Next up is Fatima Diakati. She is a dominant force in the paint. At 6'5", she is a center that has emerged as one of the premier rim protectors in the ACC. Currently averaging a near double-double with 9.4 points per game and 8.9 rebounds per game. She provided the Panthers with an elite interior presence. Her defensive instincts are record-breaking. She notably etched her name into the history books by setting a Peterson Events Center record with 8 blocks in a single game. With high-level experience representing Canada in FIBA youth competition, she brings an international pedigree and a sophisticated defensive IQ to the floor, making her a constant threat to alter any shot that enters the lane. Next up was another big surprise for the portal, and that is Justice Carlton. She is a 6'1" sophomore forward who moved into the starting lineup this year, providing 8.5 points per game and 4 rebounds per game for the Longhorns. Carlton shouldered big responsibility when games were on the line, scoring 15 in the SEC tournament win against South Carolina, 17 against a Kentucky team that was on a run, and 16 against Oklahoma. Carlton shared minutes with Bria Cunningham and Tia Sidbury, but when dominance was called for, she was the one called to the floor. Why she might be leaving. Despite her productivity, Carlton was part of a crowded front court at Texas. She likely wants a program where she can be the featured #1 post option rather than a secondary piece. Bria Cunningham will be coming back for her senior year. Now let's take a look at the freshmen, and there's only one because most of them already committed to a team before I could get this piece out, and that's going to be Talia Henderson. She is a former 5-star recruit and top 30 talent, a 6'1" wing that brought an elite athletic pedigree to Chapel Hill. Despite recovering from a significant high school knee injury that sidelined her for most of her senior year, she made a strong impact as a true freshman, appearing in all 33 games and averaging 3.7 points per game and 2 rebounds per game on an efficient 56.8 from the field. Why she might be leaving. After playing a high efficiency but low volume role off the bench, averaging roughly 10 to 15 minutes per game, Henderson is likely seeking a program where her 5-star offensive potential can be in the primary focus for her remaining 3 years of eligibility. Now it's time to look at those players who have found new homes, and when I tell you it's been busy, it's been busy. There's a lot, so let's get to it. First off, we're going to start with TCU, who got Laura Semfai from Stanford, averaging 10.8 points per game and 9.1 rebounds. Next is Lainey Grant, leaving North Carolina, averaging 10.8 points per game, also heading to TCU. Then we have Jaden Wooten, who was at Oklahoma State. She is a sophomore, averaging 12.8 points per game. Avery Hempstead from Utah. She is a freshman, averaging 5.3 points per game, also heading to TCU. Bella Hines from LSU. Nobody saw this one coming, and LSU fans, y'all better leave that girl alone. You don't want her daddy on y'all. Y'all don't want that smoke. Now on to Ole Miss. Coming up first is Talasha Cooper from Tennessee. She is a 6-foot guard that is going into her senior year, averaging 16 points per game. Also, Maya Anderson from San Jose State. She is a 6'1". She's going into her junior year, averaging 13.9 points per game. Emily Howard from Boise State at 6'5". She is a center, averaging 2.4 points per game. And this makes sense as Coach Yo lost Christine Owala to eligibility, and Jador is in the portal, leaving LSU with only one player over 6'1". Then we have Kenesha Godfrey from Florida. Rachel Okoko from Penn State, 6'4" freshman, averaging 1.1 points per game. And this just in, Jada Seville signed today. She is coming from the Tennessee Vols. Next, we'll look at Tennessee, and we know Tennessee has a lot of building to do. First up is Avery Mills, coming from Liberty. She is 5'9", and she will be going into her junior year. She averaged 15.3 points per game, and Tennessee targeted Mills specifically because of her elite 3-point shooting. Also, Naomi White, coming from Northern Arizona. She is a 5'9" guard. She is a freshman. And then Harper Peterson from Stanford. She is 6'3". She is going into her junior year, averaging 1.1 points per game. Now we'll look at who has committed to UNC. First up is Achel Okot, coming from Oklahoma State. She is 6'1". She will be going into her senior year, averaging 12.4 points per game and 7.2 rebounds. Great pickup for UNC. Also, Chloe Clardy, coming out of Stanford. She is 5'9", a guard, and she will be going into her senior year, averaging 12 points per game. And Sophie Burrows from Syracuse, 6'2" guard. She is going into her senior year, so UNC is getting a lot of seniors. Next up, we're going to look at Rutgers, who has new coach Gary Redis II, who was last the assistant coach for LSU. First up is Jayla Lampley from Mississippi State. Again, she is the older sister of Lola Lampley that will be going to LSU this year. She is 6'1", a guard, and she will be going into her sophomore year next year. Also, the Paldo twins, Mia Paldo, 5'6" guard, averaging 10.4 points per game, and her sister Mia Paldo, also 5'6", and she is going into her sophomore season, averaging 1.8 points per game. And we believe they chose Rutgers to return to their home state of New Jersey. Good luck, Paldo twins. Moving on to Arizona State. First up is Rashunda Jones from Michigan State. She is 5'8" guard. She is going into her senior year, averaging 11.7 points per game. And Maddie Morrison from Central Michigan, also 5'8". She is a guard going into her junior year, averaging 20 points per game, 4 rebounds per game. Next up is LSU, and everybody knows about this one because this was big news over the weekend. Jada Williams from Iowa State chose LSU. She is 5'8" guard. She is going into her senior year. She averages 15.3 points per game, 3.5 rebounds per game, and 7.7 assists per game. And also Layla Reynolds from Florida. She is 6'1". She is a guard going into her senior year, averaging 12.1 points per game. Moving on to UCLA, those reigning champions. First up is Bonnie Diaz from Arkansas. She is 5'9" guard. She is a freshman averaging 10.2 points per game, 9 rebounds per game, 2.6 assists per game, and 1.5 steals per game. This one is special, y'all. She's special. Also, Alina Arnisalo. She's leaving UNC. 5'10". She is going into her junior year, averaging 10.2 points per game, 2.9 assists per game. And Arnisalo originally committed to UCLA in 2025, but due to roster depth and injury, she spent a year at UNC, and now she is running it back to UCLA. Then we have Donovan Hunter from TCU. She is 6 feet, a guard going into her senior year, averaging 10.2 points per game. Next up is Oklahoma State, who had a lot of building to do as well, with everyone leaving, but I think Staley heard. First up is Liv McGill from Florida, 5'9" guard going into her junior year, averaging 22.5 points per game. I think she might have been the high scorer this year. 6.1 rebounds per game and 6.3 assists per game. And seriously, y'all, I am not understanding this move. I'm not. Next is Ellie Bergamon from Linwood. She is 5'11". She's a guard going into her senior year, averaging 14 points per game and 3.1 assists per game. Next up is Leona Sneed, aka LA Sneed from Utah. She is 5'6", freshman, averaging 6.3 points per game and 3.3 assists per game, ranked number 28 in her class. She started 16 games at Utah, and she is also a point guard, so she's likely going to be backing up Liv McGill. Next up is Louisville, and boy, did they make some major moves. First up is Zam Jones from North Carolina State, and I like this fit. Raina Scott rolled off due to eligibility, leaving a wide open guard spot. They also picked up Karis Baker from Virginia Tech, and then Denia Prowl from Tennessee, who is a 6'2" guard, freshman averaging 4 points per game. And now to Oklahoma. First up is Jordan Spicer from Kansas State. She is a 6'1" guard. She is a freshman, averaging 10.2 points per game and 3.5 rebounds per game. And Keely Parks from Kansas. She is 5'11" guard, freshman, averaging 5.1 points per game. Next up is Michigan, and they got Courtney Ogden from Stanford, 6'1", and she is going into her senior year, averaging 12.9 points per game, 4.3 rebounds. Michigan, who doesn't need a lot, and they retain their superb sophomores. Congratulations to Michigan for being able to retain those ladies for 3 years. And heading off to other schools, first up is Danny Carnegie from Georgia. She is 5'9", going into her junior year, averaging 17.8 points per game, 5.3 rebounds, 3.2 assists, heading to Iowa, where Carnegie will reunite with assistant coach from Georgia Tech, who she thrived under. She will also be reunited with point guard Chit Chat Wright that she played with at Georgia Tech. And then we have Aaliyah Crump. Shocker. Shocker that she left. Coming out of Texas, 6'1" guard. She is a freshman averaging 7.9 points per game, heading to Duke, and this is a big, big deal. We didn't see Crump leaving, as her good friend Addison Bjorn will be joining the Longhorns as a new recruit this season.
Hey Addie, I just want to say that I'm so proud of you and everything you've accomplished. I'm so happy that you finally made your decision and you chose the right school. It's going to be so fun that we're finally reunited again, and we're going to have a lot of fun on the court while winning a lot of games. Hook 'em!
Next is Mia Woolfolk from Georgia. She is 6'3", going into her junior year, averaging 13.9 points per game, 5.4 rebounds. She is heading to Vanderbilt, and this is a great fit since Sasha Washington has graduated. And lastly, for the new homes for this one is Divine Barrage from LSU. She is 5'11". She is a guard, freshman, averaging 2.1 points per game, and she is headed to Illinois. Moving from LSU, Barrage is returning to her home state, Illinois, which was the primary driver for her transfer. Now let's look at some visits, and these are confirmed visits. First up, Addie Brown visits Oklahoma, Notre Dame, and Vanderbilt. Kamora Johnson has been reported to visit South Carolina. Jordan Lee reported to have visited South Carolina, and we did see the video. Reagan McCowan to visit Iowa. Artie Crooks to visit Maryland. Tilda Trigger from North Carolina State visited Maryland over the weekend. And Kanaya Boyd from Tennessee visited Arkansas. Then we have the players who have rumored visits or some type of contact, but listen, these are rumors, so don't hold me to it. First off, Kiyomi McMillan with Penn State, rumored to be interested in South Carolina and North Carolina State as her primary schools. Nunu Agara from Stanford, rumored to have narrowed her list to UCLA and USC. Amari Whiting with Oklahoma State, rumored to have a visit to Iowa. Kinsey Hare with Iowa State, reportedly being targeted by Iowa. And that is a lot going on. Today, April 15th, the portal will close for new entries, but we will continue to have lots of movement as the remaining players find new homes. And we will be right here to let you know what's going on. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Who's leveling up the most, and what does your team need to look for with the remaining players in the portal? Thank you guys so much for watching. We are enjoying all of the comments, so keep them coming. And again, if you didn't hit that like button, go ahead and do it now. You made it this far, which means you enjoyed it. With that, we will see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.